Chapter 20. The Challenge of Peace. On November 10, 1993, the Wexner Heritage Foundation sent the following correspondence to all of its active members, announcing its mid-year retreat in January of 1994. The handshake between Prime Minister Rabin and Yasser Arafat was a historic milestone. But what are its implications for the Israelis, for the Palestinians, and the American Jewry in the future? What challenges lie ahead? We shall explore these questions at our upcoming mid-year retreat entitled The Challenge of Peace, which will be held outside Washington, D.C., 15 minutes from Dulles Airport at the Westfields International Conference Center in Westfields, Virginia. To confirm your participation and reserve your hotel room and workshop selections, please complete the enclosed registration form. Be sure to include your spouse's name, only if she is attending. All rooms are double occupancy. Those attending without a spouse will be assigned a roommate. If you desire a single room, it is available at an additional charge of $50 per night. Please use the form to indicate whether you and/or your spouse requires vegetarian food. If you are unable to attend, please return the registration form with a note of explanation. On December 30th, 1993, PBS print reporter Walter Goodman wrote the following article in preparation for that evening's appearance on Talking with David Frost on PBS by Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin and PLO leader Yasser Arafat. Tonight's edition of Talking with David Frost confirms that whatever Yasser Arafat and Yitzhak Rabin say in public during this period of on and off negotiation is naturally or unnaturally phrased with an eye as much on their own divided constituencies as on each other, not to mention on outsiders like Mr. Frost's audience. The hour-long program itself is divided between Palestinian and Israeli, with the first half given to the enduring leader of the Palestinian Liberation Organization, who seems almost to have shaved for the occasion. Despite a little talk show vaporing, the program does get into several prickly subjects. On Jerusalem, Mr. Arafat, whose spotty English requires Mr. Frost to repeat some answers, proposes making the contested city the joint capital of Israel and a Palestinian state. For some reason, Mr. Frost does not elicit the Israeli Prime Minister's opinion on any such innovation, nor does he ask Mr. Arafat about his intentions towards the Jewish settlements in Gaza, which Mr. Rabin maintains are going to stay, they are not going to be uprooted. Although Mr. Rabin vows his commitment to successful negotiations, he does not exude as much confidence as his new television partner, who announces more than once, where there's a will, there's a way. To one interesting question, what would the newly organized Palestinian police force do if a Palestinian should shoot an Israeli? Mr. Arafat replies, "Sorry, we are not speaking about small issues." Among the issues that Mr. Rabin does not consider small is whether, as Mr. Arafat holds, an Israeli withdrawal from Gaza and Jericho represents the beginning of a Palestinian state, or whether, as Mr. Rabin views it, the withdrawal is only an interim agreement that leaves the future open. They also disagree on which side will control the borders of the territories in question. Both men assure Mr. Frost that they can manage the opponents amongst their own people to any agreement. But Mr. Rabin expresses skepticism about Mr. Arafat's ability to bring into line groups like Hamas, which are continuing to attack Israelis. The Prime Minister observes in his first base, they deny the right of Israel to exist. They opposed the very peace negotiations. They are against the agreement. The two leaders display different styles. Mr. Arafat is more the showman. He speaks of himself as a martyr. Mr. Rabin is the Jewish Al Gore, but in their different ways, both having hope with wariness as they edge toward what Mr. Rabin calls calculated risk for peace. Their appearance tonight makes plain, in case there was any doubt, that despite Mr. Arafat's waving away of what he calls small issues, the road to peace in the Middle East is still a minefield of details as well as principles. On the weekend of January 21st through 23rd, 1994, the Wexner Heritage Foundation had their winter retreat in Westfields, Virginia. The theme was The Challenge of Peace. The Wexner Heritage Group arrived at the retreat on Friday, January 21st. In the afternoon, there was a lunch and introductory remarks from Rabbi Nathan Laufer, and then an opening keynote address from Rabbi Saul Berman from Yeshiva University entitled The Challenge of Peace in Judaism. That evening after dinner, the keynote speaker was Israel's ambassador to the United States, the Honorable Itamar Rabinovich. The following day, on Saturday, the Sabbath, the Wexner Heritage Group had two different workshops, one in the morning and one in the afternoon, on different topics related to the peace process between Israel and Palestine. During an intermission between the two workshops in the Grand Dominion Ballroom, Mr. Leslie Wexner, chairman of the Wexner Heritage Foundation, gave a speech to the entire group. In the evening, after an Orthodox service, there was a dinner with a keynote address given by the ambassador to the United States from Saudi Arabia, the Honorable Prince Bandar bin Sultan. After the Saudi Arabian ambassador's address, there was a cocktail reception in the Westfield Lounge. The following day, on Sunday, January 23rd, there was an address given by Mr. Philip Rosen from Weil, Gottschall, and Manger entitled The Economic Challenge of Peace, a Wexnerite's Mission in the Middle East. There was a closing address given by Rabbi Herbert Friedman, addressing the entire group entitled The Challenge of Peace to American Jewry. Following Rabbi Friedman's address, there was evaluations by the members of the group, and all the members departed for home.